Oh guys, butcherboytoma here. Right, it's been a while. I've been really waiting for Arcus to get the PC version on the go. Looks like I'm going to wait a bit longer, but there is some new stuff coming, so I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on speed building using Big. So I've started a new world. This is going to be similar to my dwarven world. It's all underground, but as you can see, I've got a flat world. I'll tell you the reasoning behind this as we go through the video. So basically what we've got here is a massive main hall, okay, and I'm using Big on all my blocks. The reason that I'm using Big is because it uses half the custom blocks, and so you can build twice as much, and it's quicker to build with Big. So first thing you've got to think about Big is each block you lay side by side needs a block space in between, so it's hard to build with it. So what I've done, I've created a scaffolding, and I'm just getting prepared now. So I've got my scaffolding, so all the blocks will lay into it, and then I'll show you what to do after that. But Big is a fantastic command if you want to save on customs, but get a little bit more detail than the normal blocks. So what I'm doing is I've planned everything out spot on. So I'm copy and pasting my scaffolding across my pillars so I can just lay into it. Okay, so that's a scaffolding ready for my blocks. Now what I'm going to do is get the other side ready as well. So remember guys, copy and paste big items. You don't have to build block by block anymore. As long as you plan it out properly, you can cut your building time by a phenomenal amount. So there you go. So there's the massive pillars in place. I've just got to add customs to them once I'm finished, but this is just about the big blocks at the minute. So I'm getting it ready for the scaffolding, because remember, when you copy and paste, it always goes in a square, so you've got to make sure that it can lay onto a block. So that's all prepared there, and I'll get this ready. Now Big, the Big command, fantastic. As you can see, you can get right through the blocks because there's spaces in between them. So the Big command is fantastic for hiding stuff like factories and lasers and stuff like that. So if you want your stuff hidden, the Big command, surround it with, you know, blocks with a Big command on. You can build inside, like them pillars there. As you see in the beginning of the video, I went straight through the pillar, so I can actually build inside that because of the Big command. So with these being brand new, I've got to extend my scaffolding out a bit so I can get 3 layers. So remember guys, Arcus is working hard on the new stuff. It's taken a while because he has been waiting of a phenomenal performance update coming from one of the other developers. Now I do believe this is almost finished for the performance update. So that means there's increasing custom blocks, increasing animations, as you should have already seen on Arcus's videos, and an increase on basically everything. Your animations now, you can you dictate how you want them to animate. So if you've got to rotate, you can tell it how quick to rotate, which way to rotate, stuff like that. It's all good stuff, and he's paving the way for signs. He's improved the doors, so the doors are now stackable. They're going to be excellent in this build. So everything like that. Remember guys, he's been working hard. He's been working very hard. He hasn't been on his laurels, but you've got to also remember, this guy is a business as well, so he's got to make other games. So he's got a few games in the pipeline, Fortresscraft 2D being one of them, and Tactics Forever. So you might want to check out the Projector Games channel to have a quick gander at them, because they are coming on well. And Fortress Craft 2D is probably the most patched game released. This guy is knocking out a patch every day, sometimes 2 to 3 patches a day, as he builds the game. It's still pre-alpha at the minute, but you can get it and see how the game progresses. Now it's gone from something that looked like something out of when the Atari was first released to something quite phenomenal at the minute. So you might want to check it out, guys. So why am I building an underground Dwarven kingdom on a flat world? That's a good one. That basically I started because Arcos has got the underground command in there, so when you create a new world, you can create a world for underground. So basically the level of the ground goes right up and you can build into it. But that would have probably took me a good few days to TNT or fill air the space I need to build what I want to build. So I thought, bugger that, I can save a lot of time just by creating a flat world and build on the flat world. But all I'm building here, guys, are interiors. Alright, everything you can see here is purely interior. So what it looks like on the outside, it doesn't matter, because the outside isn't going to be seen. So when you come into the spawn, first thing you're going to do is hit that staircase and go inside, and everything else is inside, internal. So I concentrate on the internals, and then what I can do later, if I've got the time or in the patience, of course, is build around it. So I can build an external around the internals I've built. So I can basically put the landscape the way I want it. So everything's spot on. I don't have to guess where I'm blasting my TNT. If I make any mistakes, it's easy. In building as well is a lot easier because I've got all that room to get me blocks placed. So I don't have to muck about, and I can plan everything as well. Now this room here, this is one room, by the way. This main hallway, it's going to branch off into different rooms all the way through. But this room, I've checked it, so I'm on draw distance 5, and when I go to the back of the room and look from one side to the other, you can see the full room. You know, like sometimes you build really big rooms and you get to the back and then the map disappears because your draw distance doesn't get there. So what I'm doing, I'm planning it out so each room I build will be, no matter where you are in the room, the full room is always there, and it's going to be cordoned off with doors and walls. So the next room, you've got to go through a door physically, so you've got to physically go through that door and get to the other side, and then that whole room will appear and be there. Okay, and it's also good for the customs, because if you're going mad with the customs, they tend to disappear. So what I'm hoping is, I'm building this so if I go wild with the customs, when I'm in a room, all the customs will be there, and the ones that disappear will be on the other rooms that you can't actually see. You've got no visibility of it. So it's all to do with line of sight. So I'm planning this out as carefully as I can, and hopefully it'll work out quite good. And then once I've done all the layout of the interiors, I can build over the top to make it dark and then get me lighting in, because obviously it's going to be really bright with it being customs, because the light comes through. So I'm going to get me lighting in once I've finished by building over the top, turning it dark, and then putting the lighting where I need it to give it the atmosphere. And then obviously I can start thinking about my animations and stuff like that. And hopefully by that time, Arcos got that new build for us to test, and I can start getting some really funky stuff in here. So as you can see, I've got my scaffolding, and I'm just knocking these pillars up. Now, the first pillar I built block by block without scaffolding, and it was a right pain in the bum. As you can imagine, I had to build a couple of blocks, place a block on it, delete them blocks, build another couple of blocks, place a block on, delete them blocks, and it was it took ages. It was a nightmare. So plan ahead, find the shape you want, and then build your scaffolding so you can lay the big blocks on top. So remember, you've always got one block in between each block. So like that, see? I've got one block space, but when I put them in, there's no gaps. And what I'll do when I've got these in, I'll show you a handy little tip as well, because if you leave the scaffolding in there, it affects the lighting on the customs, so you get dark patches and stuff like that. So you've basically got to remove the scaffolding once you're finished, which, as I found out to my own disadvantage, is a pain in the backside, because you can't see the blocks. You've got to physically go into the block itself, smooch around, find the block, and then carefully delete it, so you don't delete the big blocks around it. But I found an absolutely fantastic way of doing it by using the custom renderer, so I'll show you that as well. Hopefully you can see how quick this is going up. You can see the detail I've got as well. These are me, basically the usual blocks I use. Just put them detailed, made them into big, and then as you can see, these pillars are 3, 4, 5. They're 5 wide, so 5 blocks. I'm just laying 3 blocks, it's covering the whole lot. So I'm cutting my building time by 2 blocks a time. But probably increases a little bit with the scaffolding work, but it's not that much. What a noob. Come on, you should be able to do this by now. What a dipstick. Come on. There you go. So carefully laying me blocks, and obviously with them being customs, with them being big, you can lay them any way you want. So remember, the new patch that comes out, you can dictate how big the big blocks are. You can even make the big blocks the same size as a full block. So if you want to build large structures just with normal blocks, but have loads of detail in, and you guys that build block by block will know putting detail into a large structure is pretty damn hard, especially the sort of detail I'm using here. So what you do is you build a custom block that you know how the detail works in it, put big on it, make the big as possible, so so each block in the custom block is the same size as a full block, and then you've got full size blocks you can place like that, upside down, back to front, and you can create your detail that way. So you know, the possibilities are endless of what you can do when this new stuff comes out. It's going to be brilliant. Can't wait to get a hand of these new doors as well, because I'm going to have them going right from the top of these pillars right the way down. So I'm going to have like a curtain set, lattice going all the way down, with massive doors going all the way up. But they're going to be small doors, but double. So when they open right the way through, and then you walk into the next room. Really excited about this new stuff. It's fantastic. So as you can see, I'm an absolute tool when it comes to building with these things. What a clip. Come on, man. Hey, you know what it is. There you go. So they're going down quite quick. And obviously the good thing about these, the big as well, if you're building stuff like this, you don't have to build in the middle. So I can miss out a full row. So I'm using even less custom blocks to create that. Now normal customs, I would have to cover that whole pillar with little customs, and you would be going literally into the hundreds for each pillar. Whereas this whole section here, that domed roof, all these pillars, less than 1,000 customs I'm using. So that's less than 1,000 customs, and look at the size of that build. That is from the top of the spawn all the way down to your magma, almost. Just get some more blocks in there. So the plans for this is there's going to be another 2 of them domed roofs off to each side, but lower down. Okay, so they're going to be lower, and then that's going to lead on to a proper dome, a half dome I should say. So it's like an alcove sort of dome on the walls, Then at the back, where the staircase comes down, that's going to go back over. And I don't know if you remember the Dwarven World where I had the all them rooms in the balconies, loads of them. Well, I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to use the balconies off the castle build. Not the castle build, what the hell was it? The bridge build I did. I did a build I called the bridge build with all the fancy dome customs in it. I built like a Romanesque house with balconied rooms off to the side on a castle wall. So I'm going to use them balconies in the customs because they were quite effective. Basically, I'm just going to add pretty much everything I've been building so far and learning from. I'm just going to add that to this and hopefully get a good some good effects inside. And with it being based underground like a Dwarven World, I can get the mine carts in, because once I've finished with the rooms, I've got a really special room planned out as well. I'm not going to tell you about that because I want to see if it works, but it's going to be absolutely mint if it does. But each of these rooms, so you've got another dome, and I've got some more pillars, arches, and then they'll lead off into the mines. So I'm going to have mines going right the way around the spawn, all the way around. Big massive open areas with mine carts like the mine I did for Arcus, the really nice one. So they're going to have the mine carts flying around, lots of stuff to see, crisscrossing tracks and stuff like that. I might even bang a couple of dragons inside one of the open areas. They'll be roofed in, but it'll be like a big massive open cave. Build a couple of dragons in there, things like that, just to give it interest when you're going through. But lots of plans for this one. And it's going to take, it'll probably take a long time. It'll probably take just as long as my normal Dwarven World, which is over 900 hours, to get this to look the way I'm expecting it to. But it should be a half decent build when it's done. And hopefully be pretty damn detailed as well. Now, obviously, trying to lay these blocks sometimes is a pain in the bum, especially the big ones, because your preview's massive, so you kind of see what you're doing. So there you go. So there's your massive pillars. Then I'll do the same on the other side. I'll not do that in this video, but in Ganjarayo, so you've got some decent detail using very few custom blocks to get it, and it's quite effective when it's done. And then obviously you can put normal customs on as well. As you can see, that end pillar, I've got my normal customs running. Oh, look at that, I missed a bit. What a dipshit. Wrong block, man. You put the right block in. I'm going to spend half an hour trying to fix this now. Look at the clip of this. Come on. Work on. There you go. See the brain working? See the brain working? And bingo. Well, what happened there? Oh, you tool, get it? I've got the block. Put it. Yay! Hey, round of applause. How are everyone? Round of applause. You get it right. You get it right. There we go. Finish them off. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got a few tips out of it. I will try and get a few videos up, but I want to get a good section of this build before I start putting more videos up. But if I come across any interesting little funkies, I'll there you go. I'll put videos up like tutorials. Right now, the scaffolding. Obviously that needs to go in it. So what you do is change the visual settings, turn the customs off. There you go, that's Minecraft. And then see, you can actually see the blocks, and you can see the ones you've laid, because your highlighter will highlight them. And then you can delete these, no bother at all, without arsing about like a noob. Dead easy. And obviously the lighting will be correct on the blocks because I'm getting rid of it. There you go. And guns your eye out. Kind of grumble at that now, can you? Yeah? So get rid of that. There you go. So there you go. That's Minecraft. And this is Forestcraft. There you go. How was that for a game of soldiers? So that's the scaffolding out the way. And then obviously, as you can see, you can build inside them as well. So if I need to get anything in there, I'm more than happy to get that in there. But there you go. It looks quite effective. And that's going to be quite a size room when it's finished.